may I invite you to join. And like always, take a space where you feel well in and arrive at yourself. Allow your inner to react, to breathe. Turn your hands and lead this mood of I feel myself through the body, through the legs, into the earth. And breathe. Feel your uprightness. Make a step forward or backwards and relax. Again, bring your hands in front of your heart. But now use this mood of being present to slowly spread your fingers a little bit in a sphere close to the heart and return. Widen this sphere and gently say hello to, the spheres encompassing you, enjoying them. And everywhere it feels a little bit different. Where your fingers are. And when your fingers feel different, your body feels different. And slowly return to your center. Breathe. Let your breath react. And let's do it a little bit diagonally upwards. From thumb to little finger, pinky finger, and back again. Say hello to the sphere number 2. And come in. Don't count, just as often as it feels nice. And further out can mean your body reacts even stronger. Last time. And come back. Slowly to your center. And breathe. Perceive yourself, your uprightness. And diagonally downwards, from thumb to pinky finger, from pinky finger to thumb. Enjoy the air the fingers are moving through. And back. Out. And in. Out. And in. Return to your center. Breathe and slowly let go. And when you listen to your body and you feel this raying out, which we did from out our heart, where is its center now? Still around the heart or also around other parts of the body? Feel free that every day it can be different. Do a few, just a little step backwards or whatever, that you can walk this square in front of you. You stand at the point which is the furthest back. And just try to think the word warmth, to have it in mind. And when you walk to the first point, have this a sort of question alive in your body, trying to sense this word, warmth. Second part, light. Arrive. Third part, tone, sound, resounding. Arrive. And life. what I want to show you now is just, if you can just sit down quickly or stay standing, I want to show you one picture which might help you when we walk these forms. We have just now walked this square and we were thinking these different qualities. And we tried not to think it so much with the head, but as a sort of mode of interest of perception in the body. And we were walking straight lines. But life seldomly is made from straight lines, and a curve expresses it much more. And when you walk a spiral, then you have this starting moment where you have to collect forces first. And you have to walk around to have as many aspects as available, perhaps. And then you start to let go and move out. And then you arrive. And this I would like to practice with you a little bit, that we can afterwards easily move from point to point with these spirals. And you might remember, we always start towards the inside of the square we stood in. And then, in the second part, after a little rest, I would like to look into how can we use the sounds O and A to support this movement. Yes, that's what I wanted to show you. So these forms we do want to try now. So stand behind, but a little bit forward, that you have space behind you that you can walk around the point you're standing on now. And then use your hands to lead your feet. And lead your feet a little bit forward, and then to the right, and backward around to the place where you stood, and then lead them forward, a straight line that you end up in front. And breathe. Just walk back on a straight line to start again. And it's always good when practicing that you do not turn around, that you walk backwards, because then you stay in the exercise. Yeah? Otherwise you leave it and step in again. Okay. And we do it this way around, because this will help us afterwards to walk it on the square. A little bit forward, a little bit to the side, a little bit around, and I use my hand to lead the feet forward. And I arrive. And breathe. We do it the last time, and already now try to have in your sensation this mood of starting and arriving. So forward, to the side, around the body, let go and arrive. And don't forget that you started behind there in order to arrive. We did all this to arrive. And then just walk back. And now we try to do it 4 times on the square. Relax, feel yourself, and don't worry, everything is okay. In the end, we try to be here more or less, back where we started. Use your hands forward a little bit, around the body, feel the back behind. Lead the body to spot or corner number 1. Arrive. Take your time to really arrive at yourself, to breathe. Only then use your hands to bring the body a little bit towards the center of this square, behind, lead you around yourself and bring you in front. and again arrive. Have the feeling of I'm still arriving. Now I'm there. And breathe. Now we start towards behind, towards our back. We lead the legs behind, towards the left, towards in front. Around the body, we let it move, arrive. Practice arriving towards the center, around, behind, let go, arrive. And breathe. We just walk the square one more time in straight lines and have in mind these qualities of warmth, light, tone, and life. Warmth. And sense the square which you just ran. Not the square, the spiral. Light. Sense the spiral you were running. Tone. Sense the spiral. Life. Take your time to arrive, to breathe. To sense your uprightness. And then slowly sit down and listen to what these exercises are doing towards yourself. How is your inner reacting to what we did? How do you perceive the liveliness or not so liveliness of your body? The amount of joy you can discover now. In which parts do you discover eagerness and activity? In which parts more rest and calmness? How do you experience the realm of your chest, the realm of your belly, and their interconnectedness? Which part is dominating in which way? And now I would like to work on this question is the O and the E gesture. Focusing on the E, the German E, because the O, we know already a little bit, we'll practice a little bit. But let's repeat the O first in a way that you have your hands in front of your heart. And then you use the forces around your heart to move your arms forwards, to bring them together, and then really stream into this area of your arms in a way that it brings you forward, but then fill it in a way that also it does not You do not fall, but it supports you to become more stable. And then return and let go. So what I mean is you go forward, you feel it brings you forward, but this pressure also is also pressure against your chest, holding you back also. It's not just bringing you forward. So creating fullness. One more time. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, filling it, bringing you forward. Phase 4, feeling it even more, stabilizing you. Still leaning forward, but stabilized. Like a tree you can lean against. And breathe. Do a step backwards or forward. And then we go to the E gesture, where we use our hands to sense the forces of light around us. And then we bring the arms along and take the light with it. And then in this crossing, we put all the light forces into the arms, that it's radiating through our arms, and what's there, it radiates through this arm, through that side. And what's there, the light radiates through this arm to that side. And we try to do it with the help of our heart. Maybe one more time, we just sense what's around us. We bring it along. We use our heart to really ray through our arms and take this light along and make it radiating. And through this we create this gesture of protection. Stop, that's my space. You are a nice guy, but please stay there. Respect my need of space for myself. And then let go. That's how we often do the E gesture. But there's a secret behind. And this we want to put forward a little bit, that when we just start as we did it once again, feel this light, bring it along. Cross your arms, right through them a little bit. But then concentrate on that you have two arms and they touch each other. And then become aware that you feel one arm and how this arm touches the other one. What it means to this arm. And then become aware that you have another arm and then sense this arm and how it is for this arm to touch the other one. So that you have two perceptions of how one arm touches the other and what it feels like. Then let go and breathe. So two perceptions become one, and very often we forget that we have two perceptions of two arms which we just let melt into one another. And then we go still one step further. It's not just touching each other. We try to create the mood of resting on each other. So I feel into the sphere of light. I bring it along and I just become aware of my arms. I put a little bit of pressure into this point of where they meet. How does this arm rest on the other one? And now create this mood of really leaning against each other. So one is supporting the other is supporting the first one. And then let this mood be reflected in your heart. And when you manage to have this experience, you will feel it throughout the whole body. And then let go. and arrive. And then remember that this autonomic nervous system is really creating peace and calmness in a system which is constantly working and shifting things around. Then you notice how this becoming aware of the other one in complete calmness and in a complete supportive attitude, that the other one also feels being supported. This addresses what's going on down there. And now let's try to have this mood of, with O we start moving and with E we are arriving while moving the spiral. And we do it on the straight line forward for a moment, that we start, you stand behind, you create the O, and you use the O to bring you forward a little bit, and you feel the right arm to bring you around a little bit, and you feel the upper arm streaming, bring you back, the shoulders, and then you feel the fullness of the O bringing you forward, and then you create the E gesture. And now you try to practice this arriving in the point where your arms meet. And this will be followed by an arriving that you sense it in your body, what arriving feels like. And then let go. We go back and we repeat it one more time, that this one arm supports the other one, and the other arm feels supported by the first one, and vice versa. This we want to create. Being brought on one's way in order to arrive. O and E. O, just feel, when does it want to start? How does it bring you around? How does the O help you to accelerate? And the E to arrive. And take your time to create this mood of supporting each other or resting on each other. In your arms and then in yourself. And then let go. Maybe you can imagine that between O and E a little bit would be helpful or is missing to really make it a oneness, but this will come another time. And now we do it on the spiral, 4 times, one spiral after another around the square, and then we sit down and listen to what is it doing to us. And one last concept idea, when you do the O, do not use the O gesture to pull you along, but to motivate your legs to walk the form. Yeah? It's just, you could go there, but and actually the upper system follows. The lower one, it just gives the lower one the idea what it could do. So we start a little bit forward. We go around the back point of our square. We let it accelerate a little bit in order to arrive at the left point of the square. We start towards the inside. O, it brings you around this point. It accelerates and helps us to arrive. E. The O brings us backwards a little bit, around, accelerates, and the E arrives. The O brings us to the inside of the square, forward, around, accelerates the E, arrives. One arm resting on the other. Two perceptions being reflected in the heart, being perceived in the whole body. Relax, breathe, and calmly sit down to listen to the resonance. How is your body reacting to what we did? How do your arms feel now, and which part do you feel most? Do the left arm and the right arm feel the same? How is your breath reacting when you listen into yourself this way? How big to experience the space of your chest now compared to your lower belly. Which forms or qualities of forms do you perceive, or would you attribute to your perceptions? Do you feel more warmth or more freshness in your body? Which is predominant? Or are there different areas where you perceive it differently? And how do your perceptions fluctuate? How do they change? Just stay sitting for a while I show you two pictures when we go on now. And that's that we want to work with part 3 now. And part 3, we were working with Venus and the colors. And the connection is that the Venus qualities somehow stream through our nervous system, our lower bodies in a way that they bring a light which creates harmony, which creates an interplay which makes things possible. It does not just support power, but it's a sort of creativity. And out of interest. And this light, when it flows through the body, it becomes color. And creativity needs all shades of colors to being able to create the pictures the organs need to become productive. And in the beginning, we were walking forms which have to do with this. And afterwards, we did also gestures. And when you just recollect the gestures, then in the beginning, we did it with heavy arms. And then expressing this violet, deep, deep quality. And then we had this blue quality encompassing us. And then the green, this, just being interested on surfaces, on the surface, out there there's light, but inside there's darkness. And the green is where this meets. And the yellow, which is just streaming out this way and that way. The orange, which wants to touch things, to come in contact. And the red, which really out of, going through something, develops force. And when we were walking these qualities, as forms moving, which we moved in space, then in a way it was the steps, of the violet, which made us walk a little bit forward and backwards, brought forward by this feeling of being so deep. Then combined with this feeling embraced, we were walking a spiral or a circle. And then this, surfaceness, it was just walking left and right. The yellow was just moving through space, and I did not, you can see it here, and paint the next line from the point of where the other one has finished. But yellow becomes already interested in the new thing before it has reached its goal. It's just being attracted by something, What's important for yellow, not to arrive. And the orange really wants to arrive, but still feels bound by these little knots. And the S is really working hard to get somewhere, but then it really is not shy and really, encounters also meeting contact with all consequences. And these two things I would like to combine with the Venus gesture in a way which I want to show you now. Because colors can mean a lot, and we want to bring it down to our nervous system. Okay, then let's start. May I invite you for part 2? And breathe and arrive. And maybe one foot is in front, the other one behind, and create these little fists in a way as if they would carry something which is heavy, a bin with water in it, which you slowly move forward and backwards. And you really use this imagination to feel into your own depth. And it's so deep, it can't move quickly. Wait. Then allow yourself to let this go and to really feel this protection of the atmosphere surrounding you. Just not moving quickly, but it's there, and you use your arms to perceive there are spheres of protection around me. Down there, maybe it's a darker blue. Up there, it's a lighter blue. And then just spread your hands out like on a plane, and then move them. And just have interest in what's under your palms. But also sense that on the outside of your hand, in the back, things are raying through and they want to go into the far distance. But what's under the palms of the hand, let's say, no, let's stay inside. The roundish things are much more nice. And then follow again, let your hands follow the stream, raying out quality, and ray a little bit that way, and the hands ray that way. And you see my feet already followed, but it's mainly through the arms. Come back to your heart. And from out your heart, really mean, I want to touch you. And it's so honest. I really reach you and I want to talk to you. It's so nice to meet. And come back to yourself. But you know, you can't live from one meeting. You need many. So you have this many interests, but your interest is honestly and seriously interested in making contact. And then come back to your center. Push what's not meant to be yours a little bit away. Keep it away. And out of this, gain strength. That this red color here, in a way, supports in a way that you feel so much strength that you can open up without being in danger. Breathe and let go. And it's all about, can I sense my body in a way, in the gesture, that it makes sense to attribute it to a color quality. We go through it one more time. Lilac, violet. Blue. Green. Yellow. Orange. Red. And just open up a little bit, spread your fingers and have the feeling of just white. All colors are possible, but not so engaged. And let go. Then you do the red. Maybe one tip, you don't have to work to become red, but if you just have this gesture of the hand in orange, which you just move slightly forward with this interest, yeah? And then you increase the expression to red, that you go out, but then you really make stop like this. And just try to make the stop gesture here in a way that you put pretty much effort into your hand to make it more or less vertical and strong, that by itself the strength starts to happen in your spine. And then allow your body to really enter into this strength. And return to yourself. That you do not have to be, I have to be red, and because then you always need a lot of energy to keep it alive. But you only do it here. You are here. And you just put a little bit of effort into this, the speech, the expression of the hand. And then you allow your body to pick it up. And only when you have this, you keep it alive. And you allow your arms to enter what's already there by itself. So do not push your hands upwards to arrive in red, but just this little beginning creates everything. It's there. And then it's only to allow myself to feel it better. And to enjoy it more, my reddish quality, which everybody will respect, because it's so natural. Okay, that's the scheme of colors. You can differentiate more if you want, but you don't have to. And this we want to combine with the Venus quality, because that's the quality which, is weaving through our body, this being so deep connected with the life on earth and the receptiveness an openness for everything, which wants to arrive, which wants to be given, which wants to be received. And now we try to do the Venus gesture in a way that we recollect the quality of the color as if we would stand or live in the color with the Venus quality. So just stand the way you like to do the violet gesture. Just go down, feel the weight, and back. Forward and back. And keep the sensation alive when you now do the Venus gesture, sensing towards the depths, returning from the depths, listening to what's behind you, having this giving and receiving gesture, and all around of it, it's deep violet. Return to yourself, create the blue encompassing quality. It's different to how it was before. The lilac is still there, but we let it go away and wake up for the blue. And we keep this alive when we try to sense into this blue. Can I sense the blue through my gesture? Can I keep it alive? We return to ourselves and we do the green, opening up, returning to ourselves, sending the below and above. And when opening again, sending the green, we transform it into the Venus gesture without losing. What if just tried to experience? How do I move now? And from here, just start the stretching quality of the yellow in this direction. So light, here, and there, and there. And I transform it into the Venus gesture again. And now, is it still green, or can I now have this light yellow alive? And how does this feel in my body? And from here, I go back to myself and create this orange which wants to go there and there, and discuss with this person, and bake a cake with that person, and help washing a car, this friend. And all these nice encounters, can I keep them alive in my orange? And how do my muscles feel now? And I return to myself, and I build from out my heart this stop gesture, creating this inward energy in my spine, and then just sensing this power in myself. Self-perception, my strength. How can I transform this or keep it alive in the Venus gesture. Then you let go, just by sensing into the surrounding, rich, less engaged, but full of potential. Just let go. Arrive at yourself, breathe, and sit down. What's the first perception coming to your inner awareness? Which parts of your body speak first? Are there also parts which speak but very silently? Where are they? How do they enter your perception and what do they say? Just have a loving correspondence also with your more silent voices. You don't have to understand what they say, you just have interest. In what they bring. How colorful, or not how colorful, but what quality related to colors do you detect? How would you describe your inner richness now? Is it more static, painting or architecture, or is it fluid? Is it changing shape? How to experience your inner uprightness. And is there still joy to again stand up and do something? Is there still a little bit of hunger in the cells of your body? What do they say? Now we continue with the color issue in the Venus, and this we cannot just I cannot just impose on you. It's just having an idea of what we could look for, and then you can take it with yourself, practice it a little bit and experiment with it. Because now I would like to combine what we did with the forms of the colors with the Venus gesture. And we just repeat briefly the forms, that you have a little bit the idea again. And then we try if you can in a way sense into the Venus gesture, that it does not only create the mood we have just created, but that they lead us through the forms. Yeah? It's easy, it's just about having fun with oneself. Let's repeat the forms, and we can use the hands to help us move the forms. The lilac were the heavy arms, and just when they come from behind, and they just bring your legs along, maybe 2 steps. And when they come back, they take your steps along. Do it one more time, and it's so heavy, it just can't take your legs along quickly. Everything becomes, grounded. Then use your arms, this feeling of bluishness and compassedness, to lead you through a circle. Then come to your center and create this spreading out to bring you along to the left or right, this way and that way. Yeah, I'm somewhere behind and in front. And the hands, they are between above and below. And then we continue to the yellow, and it just takes us along a little bit in this direction. And you don't worry at all which direction. Yellow doesn't worry. And already on the way, when it's going there, you already know, oh, that's a nice direction. I haven't tried it yet. And already on the way, oh, this would also be nice. And we only return to our place because somebody's shouting, come back. I have supper is ready. Okay, for supper I'm coming home. It's okay. And then create more interest in this yellow, which really wants to arrive, but feel this being bound in your feet. I want to arrive, but I cannot really go there. I also have to return to myself and do it the last time. And with the red, I just turn direction. You do what you want. We have this penetrating force of the red, finding a way to move through the jungle to where it wants to go, and to really arrive, and to be in contact, and to stay in contact. And then consciously, I go back, but I still stay in contact. I take it with me. And maybe only as a strong memory, but it's in me now. And now we just try to make the Venus gesture. We collect a little bit the quality of the colors. And then how does the Venus gesture, or how can it lead us to the form? So the lilac, the violet was blue and was straight forward and backwards. So just start the Venus gesture from the heart to behind. And then maybe the lower arm pushes me a little bit forward. And the receiving arm, it's so much coming in, it brings me back. Find your way. The lower or the giving arm brings me forward. And the arm which is listening to what's behind is bringing me back. And maybe, how do we do the circle now? Which part of the gesture is bringing me there, and there? Let's do it just a second circle and keep the blue feeling around yourself awake. It brings me forward, it brings me back. Don't forget the arm in front. Just return to yourself. to have a break, start again, looking for the green. How do I have to sense into my gesture that it makes me walk to the left and to the right, not a millimeter forward, not a millimeter backwards, always in between. How can the Venus gesture create my yellow, streaming forward, backwards, this direction, and be open that it's different than you had expected it, in that way, and home for supper, and break. And you notice, just listening, how could it be? Do not impose anything on yourself. The orange which wants to come in touch with something but can't manage completely. Put all your love in the arms going forward, the other one, and really strive for something. But I have to stay where I am. I cannot leave what's there, but I feel a desire to be there. Just feel the orange around yourself. And then try to invent this red going forward, being in touch, be feeling your force, and bringing what you have experienced home with you. It's there. Breathe. Return to your center. And be content. You have tried to pick up an idea that you move with Venus, or through Venus, through these colors. Become these colors. And it was just trying, but now sit down. And what does your body say? How does your inner react to what you tried to pick up from my suggestions? How do you experience your head now? Compared to your lungs. What do your lungs do with your head? Over time, just might change. And what's going on when you slowly feel lower in your body? How do you sense your legs, your feet? What qualities are in the forefront? And what do you perceive in the background? There might be a lot going on, but can you also see a level of stillness somewhere being present? And other things which might yeah, become perceptible.